There we go. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Waikanae Beach in New Zealand. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2521. Continuing our series of Where Was Your Family? Tiara. The tiara was specifically purchased to watch Coronation. I sat there in my royal purple. Well, I'm calling it royal purple. It was purple, about this color, shade of purple. Watching it, I had on my purple night dress and with my tiara on, and I was sat there in my recliner in the RV at the RV resort in Sun City, Arizona, and Zeffie was up on her bed on the windowsill, sleeping and peering out through the curtains because it was the middle of the night when this was taking place for us. I looked at the time and we did have a little schnoozle beforehand to make sure that we could stay up for that length of time because it was going to be a long. We knew it was going to be long because they'll be covering everything before the carriages went to Westminster Abbey, and then there'll be the service, and then there'll be the carriages on the way back to Buckingham Palace, and then the appearance on the terrace at Buckingham Palace. And so we were prepared for many hours of being up. It was on a Monday night. And I did have to work Tuesday, but I didn't have to work Tuesday until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Although Zeffie did need to go out at her normal time for her morning walk around 6 o'clock in the morning. That was okay. We did the walk, came back and went back to sleep and went back to bed. But on the 6th of May, 2023, millions of people around the world witnessed history as King Charles III was crowned at Westminster Abbey. It was the first British coronation in more than 70 years, making it a once in a generation event for many families. For my parents, it was the second time a coronation in the British royal family had taken place. My parents were about 9 or 10 at the time when Queen Elizabeth was coronated back on the 2nd of June in 1952. And then, of course, King Charles on the 6th of May 2023 was the second time. They may not see another coronation. I may not see another coronation. I don't know how long the king will be around. I may not be around then. I might go before he passes. He might go before I pass. We don't know. But I might see another coronation in my lifetime. I may not. But this was a once in a lifetime event for many, many families. And whether you watch family, invited friends over to watch, had a coronation party, or set your alarm early to see the ceremony live. I definitely was up at the time. It was being broadcast live on BBC America. BBC America was one of the channels that I had that I streamed through a lot, and so I was able to watch it on that. Didn't bother looking for any other channels because BBC America, that were broadcasting it, and many channels were. Events like they became personal memories. Years from now, your children and grandchildren may ask you what it was like to witness the coronation of King Charles III. I asked my parents that question. Dad didn't have anything to say about it. Mum said, well, you have to remember, I was about 10 at the time, and we didn't have television, so we couldn't watch it, but they did get to hear it because they would the family gather around the radio. They'll want to know where you were. I was Paradise RV Resort there. It's a 55 plus community, and we were down in the pet area because I had Zeffie. So they had like the main area, and then they had this little piece off the back at the very back where you, if you had pets, that's where you had to live. You didn't get an option on that one. Who did you share the day with? I shared the day with Zeffie. That morning I woke up, the morning of the coronation, I woke up and I suddenly thought, I need a tiara. Wonder if Amazon has any tiaras. I wonder if they can deliver same day. So I got onto Amazon, had a look. Sure enough, there was this tiara here. Sorry, here's all over. Oh, it's starting to get tired. How do you clean a tiara? This is my tiara, as you can see, very sparkly. all nice and sparkly. They've got holes here where you put your bobby pins through to hold it in your head, but my head's big enough that, hang on, I've got to go that away. All right. And so I sat there and put my, it was a royal occasion. It was a once in a lifetime event that I was going to be witnessing. I had to be dressed appropriately. Yes, I was in my purple nightgown. I was in my purple nightgown purple for royalty, and I had my tiara on, so I felt very royal. Supposedly, somewhere along the way, I am related to the British royal family, but I have not proved any of that yet. It is just some program that you can put your information in, and it tells you who you're related to. And it's done through familysearch.org. They have one that's called Relative Finder, I think it is, relativefinder.com. And you have to have an account through Family Search in order to be able to use that thing to use. But supposedly I am. I haven't proven it. Will I prove it? I don't know. Am I interested in proving it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's just one of those things that's in my, genealogy to-do list, which is like about this long, that I might get to, I might not get to. There are more urgent things in my family tree that I want to get to before I even look at that. What moments stood out with me? It was just a really cool event. I remember watching the arrival of people at Westminster Abbey, and they're getting shown to their seats and things like that. Then the royal family started to arrive, and the Princess of Wales, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Princess Charlotte looked absolutely amazing in their outfits. And they had the laurels. There was something about tiaras not being allowed to be worn or something. So they had these silver laurel leaves in their hair instead of a tiara, and I thought they looked absolutely gorgeous. And it was a way of wearing a tiara without actually wearing a tiara. Thought their outfits were amazing. I'm not a fashion person. I'm not one that's going to wear the latest fashion. I'm happy in t-shirts and yoga pants. But to see everybody in their finery and really dressed up for the occasion was just absolutely amazing. And wearing boots that the men were, those that were wearing capes. They just really was pageantry, and I just absolutely loved it. Loved all the colors that I was seeing, loved what the royals were wearing. And of course there was horses and carriages involved, which I always love. Love seeing those horses trotting along down the streets. And they interviewed some of the people out on the streets lining the route to see how long they had been in place for. And some of them have been there for up to a week, I think it was. They started camping out there. And just getting their thoughts of the moment and what they thought. And it was and they interviewed some people after the royals had gone past, after the coronation. What did they think about the event? Some people were crying, they were laughing, they were celebrating. It was just a huge party. And even though I'm sitting in my RV in Sun City, Arizona, with Zeffie, she was sleeping, looking out the window when she wanted to. She'd come over and check on me, go get some water, and go back to her bed on the dashboard and go back to sleep again. She knew how to move her curtain. She knew open. She figured that one on her own. Very smart, my Zeffie girl. And she came up on my lap a couple of times for some cuddles as I talked to her about what was going on. And at one point she got up on the couch and laid on the couch watching the TV to see what was going on. And so I was just by myself there in the RV with Zeffie, and we had a party. We had our own little celebration in there going, and there were tears. I will admit that there were sparkles of love, just pride of being part of the British Commonwealth. New Zealand is one of the countries that's part of the Commonwealth, that make up the Commonwealth. So proud to be a New Zealand. New baby, the new baby. there were ends of eras that had been, going on. The tragedy of Princess Diana passing as young as she did. Then there was the Queen Mother. She was I think she was 104 when she passed. I mean, what a life she had lived and what she had seen. The royal family didn't leave London during World War II when it was getting bombed and everything else. They were in there. They were helping out and helping their people and everything else. And it was just hearing the stories from behind the scenes and stuff during World War II and that. And I wasn't even around at that point. My parents weren't around at that point. They arrived late World War I, World War II. Should have filled that up before I came on. But just going through those, yes, it does get emotional. So like anything else, the coronation was emotional. It was an emotional event for me. So being able to sit there and watch it, and I was thinking, should I watch it or just, and I'm like, no, this is history being made. Suddenly my genealogy hat turns on and goes, click, click. This is history being made. What are you going to do? I just decided to go to bed and sleep. Yeah, no, that's not you. So I ordered my tiara. My tiara arrived like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which was perfectly fine. Still had hours until this coverage started and everything else. And it was so funny that at one point I even contemplated I was just going to go to bed because of the time it was on and just wake up the next day and watch the replays. It was sort of like my little genealogy switch turned on and says, no, you're actually going to witness this. You're going to be up. You're going to be sitting on the TV. And I'm like, but nobody would know if I watched it live or not. And they said, you will know. And you know what you're like when you know something. You're going to tell people what you did anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to tell people I didn't watch it live. And they're going to go, what? So, we watched it live. And then I'm trying to remember what time. I don't remember what time in the morning it finished. But when it finished, we cleaned up like we normally did. We're going to get ready for bed, but I think at that point it was like 6 o'clock in the morning and it was time for Zeffie to go for her walk. So we threw clothes on, went out for a walk, came back and went to bed, which threw Zeffie for a loop because normally we come back from a walk and we have breakfast and then we have a shower and then we get ready and then we're ready to go for the day. And yeah, threw that one off by coming back and going to bed for a few hours. I didn't have to be at work till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it worked out pretty well. So family history isn't about the distant past. It's also about preserving the memories we're making today. The conversations, the photographs, the keepsakes, the newspaper clippings, souvenirs from significant events will help tell the story of our lives. So take a few minutes to write down your memories while they're still fresh. Label your photographs, keep your commemorative items together, and record the story behind them. Those details may become treasured pieces of your family's history for generations to come. Your family tree challenge for today is ask someone in your family where they were when King Charles III was crowned. Did they watch the coronation or just watch highlights later on? Who were they with? What do they remember most about the day? Record their story before time turns today's memories into forgotten history. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening actually we're going to be late tomorrow. It's going to be like late. Got church tomorrow, and then going to Mum and Dad's for lunch. It's pumpkin soup and sourdough toast. Yum. Mum makes the most amazing pumpkin soup. I need to steal her recipe. But she makes the most amazing pumpkin soup, and we have it with toasted sourdough bread, and it is so yum. And it's been really cold. It's been not really cold, but cold the last few days. And that's just going to be something nice and warm to look forward to tomorrow. And so I get home by about 4, so add on 5 hours. So it's going to be at about 9 p.m. Pacific time that we're going to be broadcasting. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow evening around 9 p.m. Pacific. Hei konera.